Coming up on this episode of Admiral Ocean, we'll see how some students spent their break giving back to others in need. We find out about the language students teaching elementary kids about their cultures. We get an inside story on the international guest speaker in the HHS Institute. And as always, we'll update you on the latest in Admiral sports. Today is February 27th, 2026, and this is Admiral Ocean.
Good morning, Gulfport High. I'm Johnny Blake.
And I'm Julie McHugh, and this is episode 17 of season 7.
There are some things that are just truly Southern, and here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, we often put our own spin on these Southern specialties. One of the best examples of this is gumbo. Gumbo is a dish that has some standards you can just expect, but we here on the coast tend to make it with our own flair. And to celebrate our style, the city of Gulfport hosts an annual gumbo festival where cooks from all over the coast come to show off their own take on Southern cuisine. Last Saturday, downtown Gulfport was filled with the perfect weather, packed streets, and incredible community celebration. This was the 4th annual Gumbo Fest. This year drew the largest crowd in the event's 4-year history. More than 26 teams lined 14th Street. Most of them started cooking their roux around 7 a.m. and had samples ready by lunchtime. This record number of participants gave the judges a really hard time at picking a winner. When the 2026 Stir the Roux winners were announced, Gulf Ship came away with the first place trophy. Second place was Rusty Seasoning, and third place was Chuck Dust. And the People's Choice Award went to Flava Crave. And this was a true festival. In addition to the teams making gumbo, there were 63 vendors lined the greenway between the aquarium and 23rd Street. Along with lots to look at and even purchase, there was live music as well. Several coastal cities entered teams who went head-to-head in the Mayor's Cup cook-off, showcasing how town pride and serious cooking skills. Congratulations to the City of Gulfport's Mayor's Office, who earned the Mayor's Cup trophy with 143 votes. The festival wrapped up by around 4 p.m. By that time, people had eaten hundreds of gallons of gumbo. Many people attending told the Main Street organizer this was the best city event here on the coast. We are already looking forward to next year's festival.
When most students spent their Valentine's weekend with a significant other and Mardi Gras break enjoying parades, hanging out with friends, some students in the STEM Institute spent their time getting involved in a humanitarian project. Students from engineering, robotics, and construction created artificial limbs and took them to South America. While we were spending our break walking the parade routes, catching beads, these students were helping some people who hadn't been able to get out and walk along a parade because they were missing a leg. Reporter Elizabeth Folk brings us the story about the students who gave of themselves to bring a life-changing gift.
On February 14th through 17th, 6 students and 3 instructors from Gulfport High School joined students from Desert Valley High School in Tucson, Arizona, and Chickasaw High School in Mobile, Alabama to fit prosthetic legs onto amputees in Lima, Peru. Gulfport High School is a part of a partnership with 12 other high schools that produce different parts of the prosthetic legs. These groups have been fitting these prosthetic legs onto amputees in third world nations. But the GHS team has been involved with this partnership for the last 3 years and have made prior trips to Peru and Costa Rica. Engineering, robotics, and construction students made 3D printed parts of the prosthetic legs, such as the upper and lower knee, the ankle, and the foot. These students were involved in fitting the legs onto the candidates, helping them take their first steps with the prosthetic legs. These students had to use a grinder to shape the feet of the prosthetic legs in order to fit them into the shoes that the candidates brought with them.
As we have some of the students assembling the legs, we have other students interviewing the candidates to see what size persons they are. We have legs that can accommodate a large, a medium, and a small person. Once we figure out what size the person is, we'll get the leg with appropriate size, bring it to the person, try to make it as comfortable on their stump as possible, put a belt around their waist, and get the candidate up on their feet and help them try to make their first steps.
I discovered how much it goes through helping somebody, because helping all these people and change their lives and give them the ability to work again, because before they couldn't work at all, but now with these legs they're able to work again and walk just like normal again, and they were very grateful about it.
While these students and instructors were in Peru, they had a language barrier, speaking to the candidates to help them translate languages between English and Spanish.
One of the challenges that I face in there is that when I translate in real life, it's right there in the spot. So you have to be able to translate accurately and be able to use, words that you can convey the message without confusing the people from the other language.
Though many of these students are bilingual, they sometimes got overwhelmed when it came to trying to translate to others that aren't bilingual.
So it was very difficult in the sense of like emotionally it was difficult to have to like convey to these people like from English to Spanish that they weren't going to be able to receive a leg the day they thought they would because we didn't have them, you know, in person that day. So it was very hard on an emotional level to kind of like tell them like, you know, they drove hours. Some of them have like drove up to like 10 hours just to get a leg. And so it was really hard to tell them, hey, we don't have the legs today, or like we can't give you a leg today.
There are now 12 people that are walking more freely than ever, including a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. These students showed a lot of teamwork, compassion, and determination in every step of the way.
Ni hao. On February 12th, students at Bayview Elementary learned all about Lunar New Year. Miss Gong, the Mandarin Chinese teacher, took students to the elementary school to present. They taught the children about what Chinese New Year is and how it is celebrated in the Chinese culture. The GHS students led the children in activities that demonstrated aspects of the Lunar New Year celebrations. The children also learned some Lunar New Year vocabulary. It was a great experience. The children learned about a different culture, while the high school students got the chance to share what they have learned while embracing the diversity of our world.
February is National CTE Month, and all month long we've been emphasizing the significance of CTE programs. One of our CTE programs is health science. Students in this program get to learn skills that are used by many careers in healthcare, from nursing to sports medicine. Last Thursday, students in Dr. Bird's Health Science 1 class got to hear from someone who's been working in the medical field as a nurse for many years. Nurse Valentina is from Italy, and she's the aunt of an exchange student, Sara Magni. Valentina shared her experience as a nurse and the orthopedic hospitals, but not only did she share that area of healthcare is like, but she brought students special insight about how healthcare differs in other countries.
I think it was very insightful. It gives a lot of the kids, especially in health science, who maybe want to go abroad for their medical careers, it gives them an idea of like how different it is from America.
Valentina currently works in Bologna in hematology and oncology. She told students about this field of medicine, and she also gave students an idea about the way that education systems work differently in Italy.
I've been there through a lot of study, a lot of work, a lot of experiences, many painful, but my experience in what I do is my inner, so it's what I am.
This was something health science students normally wouldn't get exposed to. It's a great opportunity, and everyone was super thankful to hear Valentina's perspective on nursing and medical education. It was a great way to place a spotlight on our programs here in CTE and awesome programs in AIG.
Do what you love, do what you like, continue study every time you can, because it's important to always fresh. So do what you love and with all the heart.
As this month of February comes to an end, we want to shine a light on a part of Black History Month that people might not know. When we think about African Americans who have contributed to the history of our country, we often think of people like Jackie Robinson. He made history by breaking the color barrier, ending racial segregation in Major League Baseball, until Robin was signed to play first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. African Americans had been restricted from professional baseball since the 1880s. But who was the actual first African American to play pro baseball? Here's the story you may not have been told.
Moses Fleetwood Walker was born on October 7, 1856. He lived in Mount Pleasant, Ohio, that was progressive during that time. After Moses graduated high school, he then began attending Oberlin College that accepted Black students.
Though Moses' intention was to study law, he joined the college baseball team as a catcher. He played for his college team, and then he was later recruited to play professional baseball. Moses faced prejudice while he played professionally, going far as threats to lynch him if he played on field.
Until 1889, where Jim Crow laws were passed, making it illegal for Black people to play on major league teams. Moses was the first African American to play baseball professionally. It was even referred to as the best catcher during his time. Make this even more impressive since baseball gloves weren't used during this time.
It will be 63 years before Jackie Robinson played professional baseball. Moses paved the way for African Americans to play in professional sports, thus leaving a pathway for others to follow.
The boys basketball team is in the playoffs, and spring sports are getting going. Let's get the latest on what's happening in Admiral Sports with our sports anchors, Nolan Bridges and Nate Coleman.
Hey Admirals, I'm Nolan Bridges.
And I'm Nate Coleman, and this is your weekly sports update.
Thanks for joining us.
Basketball playoffs are now taking place, and last Friday, our number 2 ranked Gulfport Admirals played against number 3 ranked Brandon Bulldogs. The Admirals averaged 18 points per quarter. This game was loud and packed with a ton of energy, but we need all of you to travel to Pearl River Community College today after school. This is the second round of playoffs. Game time is 5:30 versus Northwest Rankin. JHS track and field is now starting. On the boys' side, in the 100-meter, sophomore Jayon Pollard had a finish time of 11:51, placing 10th. In the 200-meter, sophomore Cordarius Payton had a time of 23:47, placing 7th. In the 1600-meter, we had 2 Gulfport finishers. Freshman Tucker Hines had a time of 5:09, placing 6th, and freshman Cooper Polk had a time of 5:27, placing 9th. In the 3200-meter, freshman Tucker Hines had a time of 10:55, placing 1st. Now time for the hurdles. In the 110 hurdle, junior Mylan Stubbs had a time of 15:58, placing 4th. In the 300 hurdle, senior Jasir Kadarin had a time of 45:69 and placed in 10th. Gulfport came in 8th in the 4x100, 2nd in the 4x200, and 3rd in the 4x400. Moving on to the short put, we had 2 Admirals placing in the top 10. 3rd place, junior Lawrence Robertson, and 7th place, senior Javon Anderson. In the discus, there were 3 Admirals. 4th place, senior Javon Anderson, 6th place, junior Nick Strickland, and 10th place, senior Joseph Gladden. During the pole vault, we also had 3 Admirals. Sophomore Austin Ray placing 3rd, senior Joseph Gladden, and freshman Cooper Thornton tying for 4th. In a long jump, sophomore Cordarius Payton placed 6th. Now on the girls' side, sophomore Hannah Ezell had a time of 6:14, placing 6th in the 1600 meters. Now in the 3200 meters, Hannah Ezell placed 3rd with a time of 13:59. Now in the 300 meter hurdles, sophomore Dakota Bates placed 10th with a time of 55 seconds. In the short put, junior Daisha Locke placed 7th, and senior Kira Pearson placed 9th. In the discus, junior Daisha Locke placed 8th. In the pole vault, there were 3 Lady Admirals placing. Senior Lucy McHugh placing 1st, freshman Brinley Walker placing 2nd, and junior Marin Alliston placing 3rd. And finally, the triple jump, Taylor Wright placed 8th.
Admiral Tennis played against the Long Beach Bearcats. Gulfport swept the Bearcats 7-0 with Caden Caritas in singles, Anderson Caritas and Brennan Vance in boys doubles, Brennan Vance and Thad Rose in boys doubles, Rylan Bersuti and Anna Kate Caritas in mixed doubles, Betsy Bird in girls singles, Amelia Weatherly and Anna Gray Massey in girls doubles, Mamie Bird and Mary Grace Bersuti in the girls doubles. Congrats to all of them for getting their wins. The next match is on March 4th. On February 20th, Gulfport baseball played against East Central. East Central was leading in the top of the 4th 2-0. Then Gulfport found its footing, scoring 3 runs in 2 innings, and then putting the final run in the bottom of the 6th to make the final score 4-2 Admirals. Sophomore Matthew Melito scored 2 runs, with freshman Eli Carter and Camden Kelly both scoring 1. Today, your Admirals are in the second game of the series against Harrison Central. Show up tonight as the game is at the Herb starting at 7 p.m.
Yesterday was warm, today is warmer, but we started the week almost freezing. What in the world is the weather going to do next? Here's Julie Flores to tell us what we can expect for the weather here on the coast.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Flores, and I have your WGTV weather forecast for the next several days. As Johnny said, today is another warm day. Scattered showers will mean you should keep an umbrella with you. Our high today should be about 74, and we have a 50% chance of rain. The rain should make the evening be a little cooler. Our overnight low is 53. In spite of today's rain, our weekend should be pretty nice. The rain will be gone, and tomorrow and Sunday, we have 0% chance of rain, with the temps staying in the mid-70s. Next week, our spring warmth will continue. Our highs will be in the mid-70s and lows only getting down to the low 60s. The week will start off with practically no rain, but the chances of precipitation slowly increase as the week goes along. By Thursday, we'll have breezy conditions with 30% chance of rain, and Fridays, we should expect scattered showers again. So as we start the month of March, it seems spring is definitely here. We'll update you throughout the week on Instagram. Have a great weekend.
Over a year ago, a lending closet was created here at Gulfport High. At first glance, it looks just like a simple clothing closet, but the AIG Lending Locker is quietly making a powerful difference in students' lives. Created to support students in need, the Lending Locker provides access to essential clothing from everyday outfits to prom dresses and professional attire. Behind the racks and neatly folded shelves is a unique partnership between two student organizations, the Interact Club and the National Technical Honor Society. Together, they are turning generosity into action. The Interact Club leads donation drives throughout the year, rallying students and community to give. Past efforts have collected jackets for colder months of the year, and most recently, prom dresses have been donated to ensure every student has the opportunity to attend formal events with confidence.
We have a lending locker for students to stop by and get like jackets, sweaters, coats for like the cold weather, or sometimes we have like dresses and stuff for prom.
Members of NTHS work behind the scenes. They sort, organize, and maintain the clothing donations, ensuring Lending Locker remains clean, accessible, and well-stocked. Each group plays a distinct role, but both share the same mission, meeting practical needs for fellow admirals while preserving individual dignity. The Lending Locker is designed to serve a wide range of needs. Students can find everyday clothing, jackets, and cold weather outerwear, prom dresses and formal attire, and business outfits for presentations, interviews, or special events. Whether it's staying warm, preparing for a job interview, or attending a special event, the goal is simple. No student should miss an opportunity because of lack of clothing.
I feel like it's important to students because I feel like students should have the opportunity, but they don't have like the right clothing for depending on the weather, or they just want like new clothing. They could stop by and pick up some clothes.
Organizers have been intentional about protecting student privacy. Although students help collect and organize donations, no student is involved in distributing the clothing to peers. Students who need assistance can contact their counselor or reach out to Miss Arday in room 212. Each request is handled discreetly, ensuring students feel comfortable and respected. In a school community where leadership and service matter, the Lending Locker stands as a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful support comes in simple forms. A warm jacket, a professional outfit, or a dress for prom that helps a student feel like they belong. And thanks to the collaboration between Interact and NTHS, that support is always within reach.
Here's reporter Ian Price as he takes the mic out to get the Admiral's voice on this week's topic.
Over the course of time, there has been many foods that have been categorized as different types for an individual's opinion. Debates over which foods would be categorized as a certain type within night, such as is a hot dog teriyaki sandwich. But another one of these foods that has been debated on if they belong in a particular category are tomatoes. We wanted to see if students identify tomatoes either a vegetable or a fruit.
I think it is a fruit because it has seeds.
I consider it to be a fruit. I consider it to be a fruit.
Why?
I consider it to be a fruit because it got seeds and it's juice.
A vegetable. I think that it's a fruit because of it has like the seeds inside of it, and most are to be classified as a fruit. It needs to have the seeds.
I consider it to be a vegetable.
A fruit.
A fruit.
Vegetable.
No, there is nothing fruity about a tomato except its appearance.
I think it's a vegetable because it don't taste like no fruit. It's not sweet. I think it's a vegetable, but like it's kind of like a natural fruit too.
A vegetable.
A vegetable. I think a tomato is a fruit because one, it grows on vines, and all fruits have seeds, and a tomato has seeds.
I want to say fruit because it has seeds, but I'm going to say vegetable because I feel like that's just the right answer.
Fruit, because I said so.
Vegetable. A vegetable. I think it's a vegetable because it looks like one.
That's all for today's episode. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube where you can catch current and past episodes of Admiral Ocean. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.